Hey guys, welcome to Amateur Domestic Goddess. Today we are doing a recipe out of the Good Housekeeping Cookbook of 1963. And the first recipe we're doing is out of this family weight watching chapter, Recipe for Dieters. Today we're going to tackle appetizer soup. And these are the ingredients that we have. 3 cups of water, Parmesan cheese of your choice, 1 can of 1 pound 3 ounces of tomatoes. Now today we have 1 pound 12 ounces of tomatoes. It didn't specify whether we needed diced or not, so I got whole. And what you do is you go in with your hands and you just squeeze them apart. So whenever I add these to the pot, I'll leave a little bit left out since we don't need the full 12 ounces with a pound. We only need 3 ounces with a pound. After that, we need 3 whole peppercorns, 2 beef bouillon cubes, 2 chicken bouillon cubes, 1/4 of a teaspoon of, actually that's a 1/2 teaspoon of dried sage, and a whole teaspoon of salt. We also need 1/2 cup of carrots chopped, 2 stalks of celery, and 1 medium onion chopped. Now, the easiest way I have found to chop celery and carrots finely is you take your knife, leave the point on the board like this, and then what you do is you move the carrot, see, while leaving the knife in place, and that way it's a little easier and you don't really have to worry about cutting yourself just as much. So there's this carrots. We only need 1/2 cup of carrots, which is probably about 1 big stalk of carrot, or I had 2 small ones. And for the celery, do the exact same thing. You can keep the knife point on your board and just move in the celery. Now we needed 2 full stalks of celery. What you do after this is you put it all into a pot and we're going to simmer it for an hour. Okay, so what I have is about a medium saucepan. I've already had the flames on high. And I went ahead and put the 3 cups of water in the saucepan just so the water can kind of get a head start. Now this is just a 1-pot basic dish. There's really nothing to do except to put everything in the pot, bring it up to a simmer, and we're going to simmer it for 1 hour. So I have the water already in. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in the bouillon cubes, the peppercorn, the salt, and the sage. Okay, stir that around a bit. And those bouillon cubes will dissolve in the heat of the water over the hour. Next, I'll add the vegetables. I have the 1/2 cup of carrots. And be careful when you're putting this in. This water is getting hot, so you don't want it to splash back on you if you can avoid it. Okay. We have the celery and the onions. This really is quite a simple recipe. All you're basically doing is just prepping everything beforehand. And if you remember, I'm not going to put in all of these tomatoes, but most of them. Put in a little bit of the juice, enough to fill almost the pot. And then I'll leave about that much left because we didn't need the full amount. Okay. Now we just stir this together. And we let it come up to a simmer, and then we boil it for 1 hour, and then we eat. Now once this comes up to a boil, I put the lid on to kind of help it along. Once it comes up to a boil, reduce your heat to about a medium low to a low and let it gently simmer for an hour. We don't need it to be at a roiling boil for the whole hour. It would go all over, and it would probably get too mushy too quick. So once this comes up to a boil, reduce the heat and let it go for a full hour. Okay, it's been 1 hour. Take the lid off. I did turn it off about 5 minutes ago, so the boiling has stopped. And as you can tell, this is a medium-sized saucepan. This is what the recipe recommends for this type of soup. But as you can see, there's not a lot of space between the soup and the top of the pot. If that makes you nervous, please feel free to use a larger pot. If not, you can just keep an eye on it like I did and reduce the heat to a low gentle simmer so it doesn't spill out. Now all of the vegetables have pretty much kept their shape throughout the cooking time. Now this is for 5 or so servings of soup. So if you're going by that, you're not going to get a lot of soup per serving, but once again, this is for Weight Watching. This is a dieter soup. So you wouldn't be eating a lot. You would serve this before a meal, or you could actually just make a big pot of it like this and use it for yourself to eat throughout the week.